I have created this presentation regarding the GasketA or GasketA project to address some of the questions that have come up over the last week. So referring to your assignment on page 182, number 11, the GasketA drawing, I started a new drawing from scratch, and I'm just going to walk through the steps that I used to draw this drawing, although I know that you could have used many different ways to do the same thing. But here are some of the tips and tricks that I would use to complete this. First, I'm going to go up to the Format, Drawing Limits, 0, 0, and 8, 6, enter. So 0, 0 for the left corner and 8, 6 for the upper right corner. And it says set the snap and grid appropriately. So I'll turn my grid on. I'm going to right click and see what my snap and grid are set at. I'll use rectangular snap. 0.5 and 0.5 should be fine. Say OK. Z enter, A enter for zoom all. Turn both grid and snap on. Now I'm going to start by drawing one of those 4 circles shown in the drawing. It says 4x, diameter 0.50. That means 4 locations, or 4 times the locations, with a circle drawn with a diameter of 0.5. So like I said, I'm going to draw one of those. Start point can be anywhere. And I'm going to type in D, enter for diameter. Type in 0.5, enter. And now I've drawn one circle. I will now copy that circle, base point anywhere, and I will go 3 units using direct distance entry to the right. Enter to end that command. Copy both of those 2 circles straight up, base point anywhere, 2 units. And escape to end. Next, I want to draw a circle based on the same center point, but this time I want a radius of 0.5 units, not a diameter. I hit enter. That gives me the second circle. I can hit spacebar to repeat, pick another center point, hit enter to accept. Remember that AutoCAD will use the previous radius as a default, so all you have to do is hit enter to accept it. So spacebar to repeat the command, center point, spacebar. Spacebar to repeat, center point, spacebar. So now I've drawn all 4 circles that are the outside diameters. Next, I'm going to draw a line from the quadrant point on top of this circle to the quadrant point of the next circle. Spacebar to end, spacebar to repeat, quadrant point to quadrant point. O for offset. Offset distance is 0.75, enter. I want to offset this line on this side. I want to offset the bottom line towards the top. And now comes the tricky part. You need to use the draw, circle, tangent, tangent, radius feature. And with that, I'm going to turn my snap off by pressing F9. And with that, I need to draw tangent to this point, tangent to the bottom point, with a radius of 0.56. Enter. Then I go to draw, circle, tangent, tangent, radius, tangent from there to there, 0.56 radius. I hit enter. And notice I keep going up to draw, circle, and over to these tangent, tangent, radius. I have to keep going back because if you just hit enter repeat, it'll start the circle command, but not with that option. So that's where you have to go back and select that every time. Now I pick the top, about 2 o'clock in the top circle, about 4 o'clock in the bottom circle, and the radius of that overall larger circle is radius of 3. Enter. Do the same thing on the other side. Draw, circle, tangent, tangent, radius, about 10 o'clock and about 8 o'clock, radius of 3, enter. And now I've drawn my objects. Now, that gives me all the information that I need on the objects, but I need to trim away the items that I don't need. So I'm going to go to the trim command, and I think what I'm going to do is select everything as a cutting edge. So I'll select everything all the way across the cutting edge, enter, and now trim away all the parts and pieces that are not needed for this drawing. Enter. And what I have left is the GasketA drawing after everything's been trimmed away. So you can go ahead and save that, and that concludes the demonstration here on how to draw the GasketA drawing. This is one method that you could use to draw this drawing. There are many other ways that I'm sure that you could do it. See if there's some tips and tricks that you could pick up from this demonstration that you could apply to have better drawn the project that you have drawn, or to help you finish the project for GasketA. So this ends the presentation for the GasketA drawing. Please let me know if you have further questions.